Hello everyone. This presentation will be an overview of Phase 3 and 4 clinical trials of drug development with an emphasis on the regulatory components. This slide provides an order of the topics addressed with timestamps included for your convenience. Shown here is a general timeline of the phases of drug development where Phase 3 leading into FDA review and post-marketing surveillance, or Phase 4 trials, are outlined. First, I will provide an overview of Phase 3 clinical trials. Phase 3 trials are large clinical studies conducted with the goal of assessing therapeutic benefit of the drug. They provide the proof needed to satisfy regulatory agencies, such as the FDA, that the drug meets the legal requirements needed to be approved for marketing. The large number of patients involved in these trials allows for the development of a broad database of information about the safety and efficacy of the drug candidate. Study designs used in Phase 3 trials are less heterogeneous than those used in Phase 2. This is because sponsors need to meet defined regulatory standards for the new drug application, or NDA, to the FDA. The equivalent to this is the Biologics License Application for Biologic Products, or BLA. The study duration is variable depending on the therapeutic area. And despite the large numbers of patients studied, the exclusion criteria for Phase 3 trials are stringent. As in Phase 2 trials, subjects with comorbid conditions other than the target condition under investigation generally are excluded. This slide presents the sample, methods, and objectives for Phase 3 clinical trials, which last an average of 1 to 4 years. They involve several hundred to several thousand patients across numerous study centers, and are usually conducted in settings similar to those anticipated for the ultimate use of the drug, such as a hospital or more outpatient center. They are randomized, double-blinded, and placebo-controlled, or compared with existing treatments. These trials are designed to collect all of the necessary data to meet the safety and efficacy standards that the FDA requires to approve a compound for the U.S. marketplace. They also establish final formulation, marketing claims, and product stability, packaging, and storage conditions. If Phase 3 trial results meet expectations, the sponsor will submit a new drug application to the FDA, which serves as a formal request for marketing approval. In the case of a biologic product, a Biologics License Application, or BLA, serves this purpose. The application contains, often in hundreds of volumes, full reports of all preclinical and clinical data pertaining to the drug under review. Following submission of an NDA, the FDA is required to review the application within 180 days of filing, and is then required to respond with an action letter. There are 3 types of action letters. An approval letter signifies that all substantive requirements for approval are met, and the sponsor company can begin marketing the drug as of the date on the letter. An approvable letter means that some minor deficiencies must be addressed before the approval letter is sent. And a non-approvable letter signifies the FDA will not approve the proposed drug product for marketing as submitted in the NDA. The speed at which an NDA is processed is to some extent determined by the classification the drug receives during its initial review. The letter portion of the rating is associated with the therapeutic potential of the medicinal agent. P, which stands for priority review, is given to drugs that represent a significant therapeutic improvement or advance with respect to available therapy. On the other hand, an S, or standard review, is given to drugs that have insignificant therapeutic gain over previously available drugs. Next, we will discuss the tenets of Phase 4 clinical trials. Phase 4 clinical trials are studies conducted after a drug receives regulatory approval from the FDA. They may be used primarily for medical marketing and are also referred to as post-marketing studies or post-marketing surveillance. Post-marketing surveillance is conducted by various types of organizations and agencies, including those listed on this slide. This table provides some differences between post-marketing surveillance and pre-marketing trials. Post-marketing surveillance involves systematic monitoring of medications as they are used in real-life scenarios, as opposed to the tightly controlled study settings of pre-marketing trials. Post-marketing surveillance provides valuable information on the use of drugs in special patient populations, which is information that is not easily obtainable from pre-marketing studies, including Phase 1, 2, and 3. Randomized clinical trials conducted before marketing include only subjects who meet defined inclusion and exclusion criteria, which creates a homogeneous study population. This slide lists several examples of study methods used to monitor drugs after FDA approval. Many products are approved for market on the basis of a continued submission of clinical research data to the FDA. These data may be required to further validate efficacy or safety, detect new uses or abuses for the product, or determine the effectiveness of labeled indications under conditions of widespread usage. Adverse drug events are also required to be reported to the FDA. All reports must be reviewed by the manufacturer promptly, and if found to be serious, life-threatening, or unexpected, meaning not listed in the product's labeling, the manufacturer is required to submit an alert report within 15 working days of receipt of the information. Each year, the FDA receives over 1 million adverse event and medication error reports associated with the use of drug products, and it uses these reports to monitor their safety. The FDA Adverse Event Reporting System is a database that contains reports submitted involving adverse events, medication errors, and any product quality complaints that resulted in adverse events. The database, which is linked on this slide, houses reports submitted by drug manufacturers and others such as healthcare professionals and consumers themselves. Shown is a screen cap from the Adverse Events Reporting System dashboard, which is open to the public. With regard to the patent for the drug, the time from filing the patent application, which usually precedes clinical trials, to approval for marketing of the drug may be 5 years or considerably longer. Since the lifetime of a patent is 20 years in the United States, the owner of the patent has exclusive rights for marketing the product for a limited time after approval of the NDA. After expiration of the patent, any company may produce the drug, file what is called an abbreviated new drug application, demonstrate required equivalence with the approved drug, and, with FDA approval, market the drug as a generic product without paying any license fees to the original patent owner. Currently, more than half of prescriptions in the United States are for generic drugs. Enumerated here are the references used. Thank you for your time and attention in viewing this presentation.